When life falls apart, our first instinct is to fight, to hold on tighter, to control, to fix. But what if peace isn't found in control, but in surrender? The Beatles once sang, "Let it be." Simple words, yet beneath them lies a timeless wisdom echoed by one of the greatest teachers in human history, the Buddha. Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It doesn't mean we stop caring. It means we begin to love more freely, live more deeply, and suffer far less. Today, we'll explore how this ancient Buddhist wisdom of letting it be can transform your life, how to stop clinging to pain, how to dissolve resistance, and how to finally discover peace in the chaos of everyday existence. Because true freedom isn't about escaping life's storms. It's about learning to dance in the rain. Over 2,500 years ago, the Buddha made a simple but revolutionary observation: life contains suffering. No matter how rich, powerful, or loved we are, we all encounter loss, pain, and disappointment. The Buddha called this truth dukkha, the unsatisfactoriness that shadows all human experience. But he didn't stop at acknowledging pain, he investigated it. He wanted to understand why we suffer and how we can be free. From that search came the foundation of Buddhist wisdom, the Four Noble Truths. 1. Suffering exists. Everyone faces hardship, physical, emotional, or mental. 2. 3. Suffering has a cause. It arises from attachment, from our desperate need to hold on to what must eventually change. We cling to people, possessions, achievements, and even identities, believing they'll make us happy forever. But everything is temporary. When what we love changes or disappears, we suffer not because of the event itself, but because we resist it. Think of heartbreak, loss, or disappointment. The pain deepens when we say, "It shouldn't have happened this way." That resistance, that unwillingness to accept change, is the root of human sorrow. Buddhism teaches that peace begins the moment we stop fighting reality. Not by escaping pain, but by understanding it and letting it pass through us. Everything you love, your friends, your body, the seasons, even the thoughts in your mind, are all changing, moment by moment. The Buddha called this truth anicca, or impermanence, the understanding that nothing in life is fixed or eternal. The tree that shades you today will one day fall. The laughter you share with someone may one day fade into memory. Even the person you are right now will not exist in a few years. But here's the paradox: while impermanence can sound frightening, it's actually what makes life beautiful. Imagine a sunset that never ends. Eventually, its beauty would fade. A song that plays forever would lose its magic. A flower that never wilted would stop reminding us how precious each moment truly is. Impermanence gives life meaning. It is the reason we learn, grow, love, and appreciate. We cling to moments, to people, to identities, hoping they'll stay the same. We try to freeze time, to hold on to what feels good and push away what feels painful. But like grasping at water, the harder we hold on, the faster it slips through our fingers. The Buddha compared life to a river, always flowing, always changing. The water you touch now isn't the same water that just passed. When we fight the current, we exhaust ourselves. But when we learn to move with it, life begins to feel lighter, more natural, more peaceful. This is what let it be truly means. It's not an act of indifference, it's an act of deep wisdom. To let it be means to trust the flow of life. To stop forcing, stop clinging, and start allowing. Instead of grieving what's gone, we honor what was. Instead of fearing what's next, we open to what's coming. The next time life shifts, when something ends, or when someone leaves, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, what is this change trying to teach me? Because behind every ending hides a new beginning, one you can only see when you stop resisting. And start observing. True wisdom lies not in control, but in acceptance. And when we learn to flow with impermanence instead of fighting it, we discover a peace that no storm can destroy. As the song says, there will be an answer. Let it be. If impermanence is the nature of life, then attachment is the reason we suffer. We cling to people, to possessions, to our dreams and identities, desperately trying to hold them in place, as if our grip could stop time. But attachment is like trying to hold smoke in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the less you have. The Buddha taught that non-attachment doesn't mean you stop caring, it means you stop clinging. It means you learn to love without chains, to live without fear, and to let go without losing yourself. Many people misunderstand this idea. They think non-attachment means coldness, cutting off emotions, living without passion, or isolating yourself from the world. But the truth is the opposite. Non-attachment is not rejection, it's freedom within connection. It's the ability to hold everything in life with open hands, not clenched fists. To love deeply, but not be destroyed when life inevitably changes. Imagine a bird resting on your hand. If you squeeze too tightly, it will fight and fly away. But if you let it rest freely, it may stay for a while, and even if it leaves, your hand remains open for the next moment of grace. Love, in its purest form, is not possession, it's permission. The great teacher Thich Nhat Hanh said, "You must love in such a way that the person you love feels free." True love doesn't say, "You belong to me." It whispers, "You are free to be." But attachment goes beyond relationships. We cling to success, status, opinions, even our own self-image. We build mental cages and then wonder why we feel trapped. The illusion of ownership keeps us chained. We say my house, my job, my reputation, as if these things will last forever. But nothing we own is truly ours, not even our bodies. Everything is borrowed, momentarily passing through our lives like clouds across the sky. When we understand this, something shifts. We stop obsessing over control and start appreciating the temporary beauty of what is. We begin to participate in life without trying to possess it. Non-attachment doesn't make us less human, it makes us more alive. Because when you stop clinging, you stop fearing. And when fear dissolves, love becomes boundless. The Beatles' words, "Let it be," carry the same energy. They don't tell you to detach from life, they invite you to let life be itself. When pain comes, don't resist it, witness it. When joy arrives, don't clutch it, celebrate it. When love flows through you, don't cage it, let it move freely. Because the moment you stop trying to own life, life starts to flow through you like music, effortless, healing, and free. In a world that glorifies speed, fast results, instant gratification, constant motion, patience feels like a forgotten art. We want answers now. We want success now. We want healing now. But life doesn't unfold on our schedule. The universe moves at its own rhythm, slow, mysterious, perfectly timed. The Buddha taught that peace comes when we stop fighting the pace of life and learn to trust it. Because when we rush the river, we only stir up the mud. At the root of impatience is attachment to expectations. We build mental pictures of how things should be, how quickly we should succeed, how soon we should heal, how others should behave. And when reality doesn't match the picture in our heads, frustration rises like fire. Think of the last time you felt impatient, stuck in traffic, waiting for a reply, or hoping for progress in your goals. Was it the situation itself that made you angry, or your belief that it should be different? Impatience is the ego's way of saying, "This moment isn't good enough." But here's the secret, every moment is already complete. The more we resist what's happening, the more we suffer. The more we accept, the more we discover peace even in waiting. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means opening your heart to reality exactly as it is, without resentment or denial. Picture yourself standing in a storm. You can shout at the rain to stop, or you can open an umbrella, breathe deeply, and walk through it with grace. The rain still falls, but your experience changes completely. In the same way, when you stop resisting life, you begin to cooperate with it. Even challenges become teachers. Delays become protection. Endings become preparation for new beginnings. The Beatles sang, "There will be an answer, let it be." That single line holds immense spiritual truth. You don't need to force an answer. Sometimes, life reveals it in silence, in stillness, in time. The flower doesn't bloom because it tries, it blooms because it trusts the sun. The caterpillar doesn't rush to be a butterfly, it simply allows transformation to happen in the darkness. So when life feels uncertain, when plans fall apart, when you can't see what's next, trust the unfolding. What's meant for you will arrive, not when you demand it, but when you are ready to receive it. Patience isn't about waiting longer, it's about waiting wiser. It's learning to breathe in the middle of uncertainty, to stay open even when answers haven't come. Because peace isn't found when everything goes right, it's found when you stop needing it to. Most of us live everywhere except the present moment. Our bodies sit here, but our minds wander into memories, worries, plans, and what ifs. We replay the past, trying to fix what's already gone. We rush toward the future, chasing what hasn't arrived. And in the process, we miss the only thing that ever truly exists, this moment. Buddhism teaches that mindfulness, being fully aware of the present without judgment, is the doorway to peace. Because life is not happening yesterday or tomorrow. It is happening now. The Buddha once said, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment." When you practice mindfulness, you stop being a prisoner of your thoughts and become the observer of them. You begin to notice that you are not your anxiety, not your regrets, not your worries, you are the awareness behind them. Mindfulness is not about controlling the mind, it's about watching it. When a thought arises, whether it's joy, anger, or fear, simply notice it, breathe, and let it pass. Like clouds drifting across a vast, open sky. In daily life, mindfulness transforms ordinary moments into sacred experiences. Leaf fluttering in wind when eating, slow down. Taste the texture, the aroma, the life that became your meal. Man walking when walking, feel the ground beneath your feet, the rhythm of your breath, the movement of your body. Speech balloon when listening, give your full attention not to reply, but to truly understand. Each act becomes a meditation, each breath a reminder that peace is available right now. The mind will try to drag you away into stories, memories, fears. But mindfulness gently brings you back home. The Beatles' words echo this teaching perfectly. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. To let it be is to allow each moment to exist without trying to fix or change it. It's to say, this moment is enough. When you live this way, the present becomes a sanctuary. Even pain becomes softer, because you're not resisting it. Even joy becomes deeper, because you're truly there for it. Mindfulness doesn't add anything to your life, it simply removes what blocks you from seeing the beauty that's already here. The sound of rain. The warmth of sunlight. The rhythm of your breath. The miracle of being alive right now. This is where real peace begins, not in escaping the world, but in fully inhabiting it. Because when you are truly present, you realize something profound. There was never anything missing. There was only your absence. In the modern world, people think freedom comes from having more. More possessions. More followers. More success. But the Buddha discovered the opposite truth. Real freedom begins when you stop needing more. Renunciation, or letting go, isn't about living without joy, it's about living without attachment. It's not giving up life, it's giving up what holds you back from truly living. Look around, so much of our pain comes not from what we lack, but from the weight of what we carry. The fear of losing things. The stress of maintaining appearances. The exhaustion of chasing what doesn't bring peace. We fill our minds with endless shoulds. I should be richer. I should be better. I should have more. And in chasing these illusions, we forget the simple truth. You already have everything you need to be peaceful right now. Letting go is not easy. It can feel like death, because in many ways, it is. It's the death of ego. The death of control. The death of the false identities we've built to feel safe. But what dies is only the illusion, what remains is real freedom. Think of a bird flying high in the sky. It can only soar because it isn't carrying anything. The lighter you travel through life, the farther you can go. Letting go doesn't mean you abandon your goals or relationships. It means you hold them with gentleness, not desperation. You can work for success without worshipping it. You can love deeply without trying to control. You can own things without being owned by them. The Buddha said, "You only lose what you cling to." So when you release what you're clinging to, you don't lose, you return to yourself. Many people fear emptiness. They think if they let go, there will be nothing left. But emptiness in the spiritual sense is not loneliness, it's spaciousness. It's the silence after a storm. The clarity after tears. The space where wisdom finally has room to enter, and in that silence, you begin to hear the quiet truth of life. That peace was never something to gain, it was something you had to uncover. Let it be isn't a passive phrase, it's a declaration of inner freedom. It says, I am not my possessions. I am not my titles. I am not my fears. It says, I release the weight of everything that isn't love. When you live this way, life becomes lighter. You stop trying to control the wind and start dancing with it. You realize that letting go isn't the end of something, it's the beginning of peace. A bird cannot fly with one wing. In the same way, a person cannot awaken with wisdom alone, they must also have compassion. Wisdom sees the truth of life, that everything is changing, that attachment brings suffering, that peace lies within. Compassion feels the truth of life, that everyone, even those who hurt us, is struggling in their own way. Together, they form the two wings of enlightenment. Wisdom without compassion becomes cold. Compassion without wisdom becomes blind. Only when they unite can the heart truly soar. The Buddha said, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love, this is the eternal law. When we respond to pain with anger, we continue the cycle of suffering. But when we respond with compassion, we break it. Compassion doesn't mean allowing others to harm you. It means understanding that even those who hurt are also hurting. A wise heart sees that every cruel word comes from fear. Every act of greed comes from emptiness. Every burst of anger hides a silent cry for love. To live with compassion is to look at the world and whisper, may all beings find peace. It's a soft strength, one that doesn't need to prove, argue, or control. Compassion teaches us that our own happiness is never separate from the happiness of others. When you lift someone else, you rise too. When you forgive, you free yourself first. True wisdom recognizes that the line between me and you is an illusion. Just as waves appear separate but belong to the same ocean, we too are expressions of one life. When you hurt another, you hurt yourself. When you heal another, you heal yourself. This is why kindness is not weakness, it is the highest form of intelligence. The Beatles sang, and when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. That lyric captures the essence of compassion. Broken-hearted people are everywhere, people carrying invisible burdens, silent battles, and hidden pain. When we stop judging and start understanding, the world softens. When we listen instead of reacting, peace begins to bloom. Compassion is not found in grand gestures, it's found in small acts. A kind word, a patient silence, a smile given when no one expects it. Wisdom helps you see clearly, compassion helps you act kindly. Together, they make you powerful not in dominance, but in presence. The wise person doesn't try to change the world by force. They change it by example, one calm breath, one kind word, one peaceful moment at a time. Because in the end, enlightenment isn't about escaping humanity, it's about perfecting it. There comes a moment on every spiritual path when you realize the truth you've been searching for was never out there. It was always inside you. All the teachings, all the quotes, all the wisdom, they are just mirrors, pointing you back to the silence of your own heart. Because that's where the real Buddha lives. Not in a temple, not in a statue, not in a distant heaven, but in the quiet awareness that watches your thoughts, your breath, your life. Sit quietly for a moment. Listen. Beneath all the noise of the world, beneath your fears and desires, there is a still space, calm, pure, untouched, that stillness is your true self. It has no name, no age, no story. It is simply awareness, infinite and free. When you rest in that awareness, you stop being the storm and become the sky itself. The sky doesn't fight the clouds, it allows them to come and go. That's what wisdom feels like, vast, open, peaceful. The journey of life isn't about becoming something new, it's about remembering what you already are. Every act of kindness uncovers it. Every moment of stillness reveals it. Every time you forgive, you return to it. The Buddha called this realization nirvana, the extinguishing of all illusions, the awakening to pure presence. It is not a destination, it's a state of being. The Beatles said, when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Those words remind us, peace isn't found by controlling life, but by surrendering to it. To let it be is to stop running from what is and finally sit in harmony with the now. When you reach this point, you realize nothing is missing. Nothing is broken. Nothing needs fixing. Everything is already unfolding perfectly, even your pain, even your confusion, even your search. So take a deep breath. Feel it fill your lungs, then slowly let it go. This simple breath is life itself. You don't have to chase peace anymore. You are peace. You don't have to search for light. You are the light. As your journey continues, remember these 3 words, simple yet divine. Let it be. Let the past rest. Let the future unfold. Let this moment right here, right now, be enough. Because when you truly let life be, life begins to sing through you. The Buddha found peace not by escaping life, but by understanding it. You can do the same, starting right now. Whisper to your heart, let it be. And watch how everything begins to change.